Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Benham, and I guess it's time for me to explain why I decided to run for the United States Senate. Um, reason I decided, I did not take this decision lightly in any way, shape, or form, but literally just a few weeks ago is when I decided to do this. There are two candidates that are probably going to be the ones that are going to end up winning this race. It's going to be between probably two of them. It's going to be between probably Dan Osborne or it's going to be Pete Ricketts. One of those two guys is probably going to be the next senator from Nebraska, and why I decided to run against them. I met Dan Osborne a couple years ago when I was explaining healthcare policy to him and his team. And a few weeks ago, I met with Pete Ricketts, head of policy for healthcare. And quite frankly, I came away from that meeting completely appalled at the lack of understanding of how this system works. And if you don't understand the system, you really can't fix the system. So when I looked at these two candidates again recently, not one of them lists healthcare on their platforms, on their websites. Healthcare isn't even listed. And if you're not willing to list it and you're not willing to even talk about it, that tells me one thing. You literally have zero solutions. And we are at a crisis right now. The winner of this Senate election has to deal with some monumental issues never dealt with before. The first one is Medicare. Medicare becomes insolvent in the next 5 years. So we're going to have to deal with a $1.1 trillion insolvency problem. We have Medicaid expanding. Medicaid is ballooning in cost, and that is going to hit $1 trillion in spending. We have employer-based insurance, which is consuming another $500 billion. So just those three programs, we're talking about $2.5 trillion. And the lack of understanding on how this system is set up, on how insurance companies make money, how much money is funneled through the insurance companies is, quite frankly, when people understand it, they actually freak out. They have no idea the amount of money being wasted in the system right now. And healthcare, quite frankly, it's not a partisan issue. This is completely bipartisan. It's not a Democratic issue. It's not a Republican issue, but this does affect every single American citizen in the country today. We have to deal with this healthcare crisis, and it is a healthcare crisis. We have to fix this election cycle. There's just no way around it. The insolvency that we're dealing with is, I've spent my entire professional career in the health insurance industry. I've also been an advocate for healthcare policy. I've been explaining healthcare policy to both sides, political parties, independents, Democrats, Republicans, and quite frankly, I don't have time to keep explaining this to politicians who don't understand the root cause of the hyperinflation in healthcare. So I wrote a book called Age-Based Tax Credits. I've written several articles. I've explained this and explained this and explained this. But again, the things that we're facing with this election cycle, I don't have time to keep educating politicians. We need to fix this now. And that's why I decided to run. I will go to Washington and I will be the representative for you, and we will solve this healthcare crisis. We need to lower health insurance costs. We need to fix it. We need to insure everyone. We need to protect Medicare from its insolvency. We need to reduce Medicaid pressure on state budgets. We need to increase wages. We need to end the employer premium suppression. And quite frankly, the cost of living of every American is all because of how we finance our healthcare. We do not have a problem with accessing healthcare, and we don't have a problem with its quality. The United States is the best in the world at quality of healthcare, but we do have a systematic problem on how we finance that care. It wastes trillions of dollars a year. There's literally trillions of dollars, and that's what I'm going to be explaining to you guys over the next 6, 7, 8 months, however long this race is. What is it? March, so we're going to go till November. I will be explaining in detail how all this system works, because my job now is to educate you, the one who's going to vote and hire the next senator for this state. And we can either continue to go down the status quo of people who do not understand the system, or take the expert in healthcare and send them to Washington. So that's why I decided to get into this race. We are going to finally fix healthcare once and for all, and that will again lead into fixing Medicare insolvency. We will fix the Medicaid problem. We will fix the wage suppression. We will fix affordability and access. All of this. Let's ensure everyone in the country. So I look forward to getting your vote in November, but I will be explaining this. And again, if you like my platform, like, share, because this is why we're going to get the word out. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.